Hey guys, in today's video I am going to give you guys my final thoughts on one of my favorite animes this summer, which is Servamp. Oh my gosh, this one, I don't know what it was about this one, but every week I would always get excited to watch a new episode. So this one, hands down, is probably one of my favorites for 2016, and I just really love it. I can't wait to read the manga and see what happens next. So basically what Servamp is about, for those of you that don't know, is just about our main character named Mahiro. He just likes to think simply, and he doesn't really like to, cause any trouble or troublesome things. He likes to think a certain way, and we see that in the first episode where he's like always stepping up, because he says it'll be even like more troublesome if they have to like wait around and pick someone to do it, or like for someone to like go up and do it. On his way home, he encounters this little cute kitty. He names this little cat Kuro, and to his surprise, this little cat that he picked up ends up being a Servamp, and that's how their little adventure starts. And now they're just both stuck together. I know like the whole details that they give you of what Servamp is about isn't all that great and exciting, because when I first read it and saw the trailer, I was just like, maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. So I was like a little bit afraid to see if I was gonna like it or not, but I'm so happy I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. As you guys can tell, I am an anime only, because a lot of the manga readers were pretty upset with quite a few things that happened in the anime, and more specifically with the last episode. So what happens in the last episode was the whole thing with Mahiro hugging Tsubaki, which is one of our protagonists, and honestly I kind of thought that was weird too, but at the same time I kind of get what they were trying to do there. I felt like Mahiro was just kind of telling Tsubaki that, hey, he understands his pain and he knows what he's going through and he's not alone. He's just letting him know. And a lot of people were mad because they felt like they were saying, that it was already resolved right then and there, but I feel like it wasn't resolved. I still have so much more questions. Tsubaki's still like a big mystery. Overall, as a character and his personality, is just, I really enjoyed his personality, to be honest. And like I said, his personality is what makes me think like, how did he end up the way that he is? Because in that last episode, we did get a little bit of details of why he's doing what he's doing currently, but at the same time, it's like not a lot of details, if you guys get what I mean. So this character is honestly like a big mystery. And this last episode, really, I just couldn't help but feel bad for the guy, to be honest. There's two more things that I kind of was left kind of like, which was one of the characters named Mikuni. He was like coming back and forth in the series, like not a lot. We would get like a few seconds with him, and to me he's like a real big mystery because we don't really know a whole lot about him in the anime. I don't know if we know more about him in the manga, but if we do, I can't wait to read about that. Specifically, what I want to know is why Misono doesn't trust him at all, because we have heard him say, that he doesn't trust him, and he's told Mahiro, don't trust this guy. So I want to know like the backstory between that and why he doesn't trust him. Like there's gotta be a story behind it, so I really want to know more about that, especially because Lily said, someday you'll know the truth, Misono, and he just kind of runs off, and I was like, what? Like, what is the story here? Like, I need to know. The last thing that I kind of have questions about was the C3, the organization. I want to know what their deal is, because I feel like they're not bad guys. I really don't feel like they're bad guys. Like, yes, they went after Kuro and Mahiro, but I feel like they had their own reasons why they did that. And I feel like they're not bad reasons. So I don't know. I really want to know more about this organization and what they're doing and what's their deal and what's their plan. Other than that, I really enjoyed the series. The animation when they fight is just really spectacular. I really enjoyed it. Especially in the 11th episode with Kuro and Mahiro when they fight. Oh my gosh, it's like so freaking amazing. The characters in Servamp are all very interesting. And we don't really dive into a lot of the characters' backstories other than a little bit of Sakuya, and as well as two of the Servamps, which is Kuro, obviously, because he's one of our main characters. And what the series basically focuses on is Kuro and his past and his regret. And then we also have Lawless, so we find out a little bit more about him and why he's the way that he is. It was really interesting to see, Kuro and Hyde's you know, character development, especially Kuro's. I feel like his character development was really well done. I really enjoyed it, and it's probably why Kuro is one of my favorite characters, as well as Hyde. Hyde is like my absolute favorite, I think, now that I know more about him, but it's kind of hard to pick a favorite character in this series. So anyway, I just really enjoyed how each episode kind of built up to that moment where Kuro overcomes his past and accepts his regret. And it was just really interesting to see all that happen and how when things went down. And I love Servant because, you know, when you look at it, you think, you know, it's probably gonna be all fluff and games, and it's not. Like, you get a little bit like of a comedy in this series, but like at appropriate times. And most of the time it's pretty much serious and action, and a lot of stuff goes down. And honestly, there was just like so many feels. Like, I was not expecting that. Also, I have to talk about the opening and the ending. I feel like the opening and the ending really describes Servamp so well and what it is. Like, we have this cute little cheery ending, and then you have like this really hard rock opening. And I really love that. And more especially because one of my favorite bands, Old Codex, does the opening, which the song of this, if you guys are interested, is called Deal With. And it's like one of my favorites. I've been hearing it on repeat ever since it came out, so yeah. I'm not too sure how much they skipped out in the manga, and based on how everybody reacted, I'm like, if I would have read the manga first before I watched the anime, I feel like I would have been just as upset as everybody else. But at the same time, you kind of have to think about it, you know, this basically happens in a lot of animes where they skip over a few details, or maybe a lot of details in for the anime, and we don't get to see that. And I understand why everybody would get upset. I mean, there's the example with Tokyo Ghoul. That's an example. I'm not gonna go into too many details, but yeah. So, you know, it's really rare when they actually do go for, you know, every little detail that's in the manga into the anime, so it's like really rare. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I really have to say. I know it's not quite a lot, but that's basically like all my thoughts I have about Servant. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!